So in continuation with the previous video, let's start with the question number 4. In this question, wage2 dataset is being used. Therefore, pass this command data wage2 and use this package Woolrich. Press Ctrl plus Enter. Then attach this dataset. Now let's see what is the first question. Find the average salary and average IQ in the sample. What is the sample standard of IQ? For this, we can simply pass on the command mean wage, mean IQ, and SDIQ. So the average salary is about $957.95. Average IQ is about 101.28, and the sample standard deviation of IQ is about 15.05, which is pretty close to the population value of 15. Now the second question is estimate a simple regression model where a 1 point increase in IQ changes wage by a constant dollar amount. This sentence is important, where a 1 point increase in IQ changes wage by a constant dollar amount. Now use this model to find predicted increase in wage for an increase in IQ of 15 points. So this sentence means we have to use level model. It means that all the variables will be in their natural form. Therefore, first let's create the model IQ model. Use the assignment operator and then LM linear model wage tilde IQ. Press Ctrl plus Enter. Let's summarize this model. So in this we can see that the intercept is 116.99 and the slope coefficient on IQ is 8.30 and the R squared value is 0.096 and the R squared value is 0.096. Now this question, read this question, does IQ explain most of the variation in wage? No, IQ score does not even explain 10% of the variation in wage. And also look at this sentence, use this model to find the predicted increase in wage for an increase in IQ of 15 points. So suppose IQ increases by 15 points, then what will be the wage of an individual? So let's calculate 15 into what is the slope coefficient, 8.30. Press Ctrl plus Enter. So for 15-point increase in IQ increases predicted monthly salary by $124. Okay, so in terms of 1980 year. So let's go to the next question. Now estimate a model where each 1 point increase in IQ has the same percentage effect on wage. If IQ increases by 15 points, what is the approximate percentage increase in predicted wage? Now read this sentence again. Now estimate a model where each 1 point increase in IQ has the same percentage effect. So this sentence implies that we have to use log level model. We will estimate the log of wage variable and estimate log wage through IQ. So let's create a new model by the name of IQ log model. Use the assignment operator, then LM linear model. In the bracket, simply type log and log wage and then tilde IQ, and now press Ctrl plus Enter. Now let's summarize the model. Here we can see the intercept is 5.88 and the IQ, the slope coefficient on IQ is 0.0088 and the R squared value remains the same, 0.09. It almost remains the same. Now if IQ changes by 15 points, then what will be the percentage increase in the wage? Now let's see that 15 is the change in IQ into slope coefficient 0.0088. Press Ctrl plus Enter. Okay, now in this case, if IQ increases by 15 points, then the percentage change in wage will be 13.2. The wage will increase by the percentage of 13.2. Okay, so let's detach this data set. Press Ctrl plus Enter. Now let's go to the question number 5. Question number 5 uses the dataset RDCAM. So pass this command, data in quotes RDCam package voltage, attach this data set. Now there are two variables here in this question, RD, which denotes annual expenditure on research and development, and sales denotes annual sales, and both the variables are mentioned in millions of dollars. Now the first question is, write down a model that implies a constant elasticity between RD and sales. Which parameter is the elasticity? Okay, so this is a subjective question. This is not a numerical or analytical question. So in this case, read the sentence, constant elasticity between RD and sales. Constant elasticity means that both the variables will be in logarithm. Both the variables will be in log form. Okay, so what you have to do, log RD equals to intercept plus beta 1, which is the slope coefficient, and the sales will be also in log sales, and beta 1 will be the elasticity of RD with respect to sales. Now estimate the model using the data in RDCam. Write out the estimated equation in the usual form. What is the estimated elasticity of RD with respect to sales? Now let's estimate a model based on the question. Let's create a model by the name of RD model. Use the assignment operator, then LM log RD tilde log sales. Now let's pass this command, control plus enter, and summarize this model. So here we can see that the intercept is minus 4.104, and the log coefficient and the slope coefficient on log sales is 1.076, and the R square value is 0.910. Now the estimated now what is the estimated elasticity? The estimated elasticity of RD with respect to sales is 1.076, okay, which is just almost above 1. So it means that a 1% increase in sales is estimated to increase RD by about 1.07%. Okay, so we are done with this question. Let's detach the data set. Now let's come to the question number 6. In this question, the data set MEAP93 is being used. Therefore, pass on the command data double quote MEAP93 package voltage, press Ctrl plus enter, and attach this data set. Now let's look at the question. There are two main variables. One is math pass rate, math 10, and spending per student, expend. Okay, now the first question is, do you think each additional dollar spent has the same effect on the pass rate, or does a diminishing effect seem more appropriate? Let's look at the correlation between these two variables. The correlation is 0.18. It's a low correlation. And now let's look at the range of expenditure, and also look at the range of the variable math 10. Okay, so you can see there are very extreme values in both the variables. The range of expend and the minimum value in the expend is 3332, and the maximum value is 7419, whereas in the math pass rate the minimum value is 1.9 and the maximum rate is 66.7. So it seems plausible that another dollar of spending has a larger effect for low spending schools than for high spending schools. Okay, there are two categories of school in this expenditure column. There are some low spending schools and there are some high spending schools. We can deduce it from this range of expenditure. So it seems plausible that another dollar of spending has a larger effect for low spending schools than for high spending schools. At low spending schools, more money can go toward purchasing more books, computers, and for hiring better qualified teachers. And at high levels of spending, we would expend little, if any, because the high spending schools already have high quality teachers, nice facilities, etc. So yeah, so this relationship is quite complicated, and it depends on the category of school. Low spending schools can have larger effect on the pass rate, and high spending schools can have low effect. So now let's look at the second question. In the population model, math 10 equals to beta 1 log expand. Argue that B110 is a percentage point change in math 10 given a 10% increase. Okay, so this is not a numerical or analytical question. For this is a fact that B1 divided by 10 is a percentage point change in math 10. You can look at the table 2.3 in the book Jeffrey Woolridge Introductory Econometrics. You will find the reference for this question there. Now let's come to the third question. Use the data in MAP93 to estimate the model from part 2. Report the estimated equation in the usual way. Include a sample size and R squared. Okay, so let's create a model, expand model. Use this assignment operator and math 10 tilde logs expand. Pass the command control plus enter. And now let's summarize the model and also calculate the number of observations of this model. Of observations in this model are 408 and R squared value is 0.029, which is very low, and the intercept is minus 69.34, and the coefficient, slope coefficient on this log expand is 11.16. Now look at the fourth question. How big is the estimated spending effect? Namely, if spending increases by 10%, what is the estimated percentage point increase in MED 10? Okay, so how big is the estimated spending effect? How big is the estimated spending effect? The answer is 11.16, that is this slope coefficient on log expand. And now let's look at the other part of the question. Spending increases by 10%. Okay, so 0.10. 0.10 into the slope coefficient is 11.16. Press Ctrl plus enter. The answer is 1.116. That is, if expenditure increases by 10%, then this estimated math 10 will increase by about 1.1 percentage points. And this is not a huge effect, but it is not trivial for low spending schools where a 10% increase in spending might be a fairly small dollar amount. Okay, so now let's look at the next question. One might worry that regression analysis can produce fitted values for math 10 that are greater than 100. Why is this not much of a worry in this dataset? Okay, so now let's calculate the maximum value of math 10 variable in the dataset. The maximum value in the math 10 dataset, their column, is 66.7. Now let's calculate the estimated values. We can create a new variable by the name of math 10 underscore hat and use the assignment operator. Use this variable, use this function fitted, and in the bracket put the name of our model, expand model. It will assign the values of the fitted values. It will assign the fitted values of this model into this math 10 hat column. And now let's look at the maximum value of these estimated values. Okay, so this is the maximum value from these fitted values, that is 30.15, whereas the maximum value from the original data set is 66.7. Therefore, it is not a problem in our data set that the results are producing, the regression results are producing values greater than 100. This is not a problem, and we have verified it through this analysis. Okay, so now let's detach this data set. Our work is done. Let's move on to the next question, question number 7. Question number 7 uses the dataset charity. So let's pass this command data charity and package is Woolridge. Attach this dataset charity. Now let's look at the first question. What is the average gift in the sample of 4268 people in Dutch guilders? What percentage of people have no gift? So we can calculate the average gift by passing this command mean gift. The answer is 7.44 Dutch guilders, and the number of people having 0 gifts is 2561. Okay. Now what is the average mailings per year? What are the minimum and maximum values? For average mailings per year, we can use this function mean mails year, which is 2.04. And for minimum and maximum values, we can use this function range mails year. So the minimum value for mails per year is 0.25, which means that someone has been on the mailing list for at least 4 years. Okay, and the maximum value is 3.5. Now let's go to the third question. Estimate the model. We have to predict gift on the basis of mails per year. Okay, so now let's create a model by the name of char model and use this assignment operator. Use this function lm linear model, and in the bracket give tilde mails year. Press Ctrl plus enter. Now let's summarize this model, and also we can calculate the sample size. Use this function and obs. The number of observations are 4268, and the intercept is 2.01, and the slope coefficient on mails per year is 2.65, and R squared value is 0.138. Now the fourth part is interpret the slope coefficient. If each mailing cost 1 guilder, is the charity expected to make a net gain on each mailing? Does this mean the charity makes a net gain on every mailing? Explain. Okay, so interpreting the slope coefficient. First, the slope coefficient from the equation means that each mailing per year is associated with 2.65 additional guilders on average. Okay, so therefore if each mailing costs 1 guilder, the expected profit from each mailing is estimated to be 1.665 guilders, and this is only the average. However, it is possible that some mailings generate no contributions or a contribution less than the mailing cost, and it is possible that other mailings might have generated much more than the mailing cost. Okay, so this slope coefficient 2.64 is only associated on average. Some people might have zero contribution and some people might have less contribution than the mailing cost. Therefore it is not possible that the charity has made a net gain on every mailing. Now question number 5. What is the smallest predicted charitable contribution in the sample? Okay, so we have seen in the earlier part that the minimum value of males per year has been 0.25. We can calculate the smallest predictable charitable contribution on the basis of that. So let's look at this. We have uh, the value of 2.01 as an intercept, plus the smallest value for males per year has been 0.25, and the slope coefficient was 2.64. Okay, let's use this asterisk symbol for calc multiplication. Okay, the answer is 2.67. It means that the smallest predicted value of gifts is $2.67. And what is the other part of the question? Using this simple regression analysis, can you ever predict zero for gift? No. Even if we look at the overall population where some people have received no mailing, the smallest predicted value is about 2. That is our intercept. Therefore, with this estimated equation, we can never predict zero charitable gifts. Okay, so we can now detach this data set. Thanks for watching this video. If you like my videos, then subscribe to this channel, and also you can follow me on different social media platforms. I have mentioned this link in my description box. Thank you.